Hi, good morning. My name is Sarah Capos, Regional Sales Manager for US. And for me, it's an honor. I'm so happy to share with you all today. And we have a training that for sure you're just going to enjoy. But today, I just want to introduce somebody that we really love and appreciate in our company, a person that it's one of our platinum, 12 years fully qualified as a senior platinum here in Immunotech with a career of more than 29 years, I think, in this industry. And for me, it's an honor to present you our dear John Solleder. John, where are you? How are you? Good morning.
I am great, Sarah. I have been up since about 5 o'clock this morning and lifted weights and helped out at a powerlifting meet and just feeling great and so optimistic. Can you hear me okay? My sound quality okay?
Yes,
all right, terrific.
Hear you.
But we just have so much going on in Immunotech, and we are so blessed here to be at the end of the year. You know, with all the circumstances that are going on in the world, and unfortunately, in many cases, in so many other people's lives, our business is exploding. Our business is growing. But we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of people that it's our responsibility to get in front of, not only here in December of 2021, but going forward into 2022. So I'm going to give you a couple of things to set up the day, and then I'm going to introduce somebody who's a game changer, to say the least. Hey, when I started, and it's actually 39 years, Sarah, I wish it was 29 years, would make me 10 years younger, but I started in this industry in college. April of 1983 is when I got introduced to this wonderful industry of direct selling. And the first thing I ever really heard that was a game changer for me at that time was something to do with my attitude. And that was the statement, for things to change, you have to change, and for things to get better, you have to get better. And that resonated with me because I never heard that type of language growing up in my house. It was always the government's fault. It was always the president's fault. It was always some other person's fault why my parents were not as successful as they should have been. So I heard that language and it started to change me. And that's the language that we want to adopt as we go forward here. Wherever your business is at, whether you're a venture or a senior platinum or anything in between, you want to start saying, what can I change in 2022? And what can I apply from what I'm going to learn today to make that difference, not only for myself, but for my family, for your community, for your organization, okay? You want to start building a financial fortress in 2022. Listen, you've all seen the news probably today or yesterday. We're at a 40-year high in inflation here in the United States. I know Canada and Mexico are similarly having financial situations that are not what we want them to be. You know what? For us, that presents an opportunity. Not that we're happy about inflation. None of us are when we go to the gas pump or the food store. But at the end of the day, creates a lot of people looking for what you have, which is an opportunity. And now what you're going to learn today is you're going to have tools, professional tools to really go to those people with. And let's talk about tools for a minute, just to set the stage. You know, my dad was an electrician for many years. So was my grandfather, all my uncles back in New Jersey. I grew up in a construction family. And as electricians, they went to work every single day with their tool belt on. And they had everything from, pliers to hammers to screwdrivers to you name it, all sorts of different tools. Some days, maybe they used every one of those tools. Other days, maybe they used none of those tools, depending on the job and the situation. And that's kind of how you are going to apply some of the tools you're going to learn about today. The tools should fit the situation. And we'll go through that with you, and hopefully you'll get real clear on that. Think of your doctor, for example. Those of you who've had surgery, I'm sure most of us have on this call. The doctor comes in with, armed with a number of tools because he doesn't know what situation he or she is going to have to deal with when they do surgery. So they come in and they have a bunch of different tools. Maybe they use some, maybe they use none, maybe they use them all. And that's, once again, professionals have tools in their tool chest, okay? The right tool for the situation. Now, I'm going to present somebody here who is a legend in the industry of direct selling. He's become a quick friend of mine. He's been a colleague. We've been colleagues for years. We finally had a chance to meet here about a month ago in Miami. And he's a game changer. He's a member of the Network Marketing Hall of Fame. He's written books on the subject. He's consulted on the subject. But more importantly, he's worn the same shoes that you and I do every single day. He sat in the living rooms of somebody who's looking at a business and said no, and got in the car and been rejected. He sat in those meetings thinking, hey, I'm going to get these people going, and for whatever reason, they choose not to. Okay. But he's also been at the top of the mountain financially, been one of the top earners in our industry for 40 plus years. So, like myself, I'm going on 4 decades and he's starting his 5th. And all that experience is what he's bringing to help us with Immunotech. We're getting a little background noise. Somebody hit that? Somebody got their blender going. And I'm gonna give that a second there to clear up, Randy, before I get you on there. I don't know what that is. Anyway, okay. So, folks, Randy doesn't really need an introduction, but he deserves an introduction because, as someone who's been in this game for 39 years and seen a lot of companies and consulted for a lot of companies and done a lot of work around the industry, in addition to being a distributor all these years, I can tell you the tools that he and his partner Hyman LaCour have created for us are state of the art. There is no better. We are so blessed to have these two gentlemen working with us. So without any further ado, Randy, I want to introduce you, my friend. Thank you so much for doing this call. I know it was short notice, but we all appreciate it. We're going to take good notes. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to help you out here. But let me introduce my good friend, legend in the industry, and a man who's going to help you, more importantly, get where you need to be in 2022, Mr. Randy Gage. Welcome, Randy.
Hey, John. Great to be on with you guys. Pardon my voice. I came back from Houston on that flight with a horrific sinus infection. I think I'm finally coming on the other side of it. And I'm excited to be with you guys. We just wanted to, chatting with some of the platinums. We sent a follow-up email after the next event talking about the tools, but they linked to some of the Vimeo host site instead of the landing pages. And so we knew there were questions out there. So we said, let's just put together something fast, get on with the leaders and talk to them about the new tools, break them down. Exactly what are they and how can you use them to grow faster? How can you develop more customers? How can you duplicate more consultants? So having said that, I guess the littlest change is probably the biggest change, which is a couple of little tweaks we made to the starter kit. As you know, you used to have that card that said the roadmap, and it was pretty simple forward advice. Use the products, think about what your story is, and then talk to your friends about the story. And that can work amazing, or it can totally blow up if somebody doesn't really get how to do that, because that can be hard to duplicate. The guys who were at the next event when we did the Diamond Plus training, I joked around that, hey, if we do our job right, a drunk orangutan should be able to go silver with Immunotech, because everything should be plug and play or point and grunt, right? It's what you heard John talk about, the electricians and their tools, the doctors and their tools. It's no different for us, because our tools are where duplication lives. My philosophy is you will make or break your new distributors in the first 2 weeks of the business, their first 2 weeks. And, the first 48 hours is the critical time. If you get them into action and they produce any kind of volume, meaning they sign up a consultant who gets a starter pack, or they get a customer who buys one single box of Immunocount, you will reduce your churn or your dropout rate by about 80%. So we took out the roadmap and put in a 24-page booklet, step by step through the process of here's what to do right away. We all know they've got all their names in their phone, but that's not actionable. What's actionable is, hey, let's concentrate on a certain number of those people and let's move them to the front burner. Who are the people you want to contact first? So something we did that has just been maybe the most successful thing in my career was we introduced this concept of the grand opening, right? Because if you open a restaurant, you would call the people you love that love you, and you'd say, hey, I opened a new restaurant. It's opening Monday night on, Federal Highway. Please come out and join my grand opening. So we're suggesting people do the same thing with their Immunotech distributorship, which is call the 10 people that love you the most and tell them, here's my new business, here's the products I have, and I want you to buy them from me. And your goal is to get 6 or 7 or 10 customers as quickly as you can when you first join.
So, Randy, I got to stop you for 1 second there. Just ask you what you're drinking from.
Okay, so this is, you notice it's a little dark for Boost. That's because this is actually, I call my Mauricio Mojito because he gave me this idea. You take Boost and then put in maybe half a cap of A21 because it has the, what do you call it? Rhodiola. Yeah, because so the Boost is really the physical energy and the rhodiola is really good for mental concentration. And then you just put in some ice cubes, or in my case, I keep like frozen berries in my freezer and I mix them up in my smoothie in the morning. So I put some frozen berries. And so it gives you the whole thing, the mental energy and the physical energy. So you get this situation where they just get 5 or 6 or 7 customers right away. Within 48 hours of the business, they're going to stay in. And of course, some of the customers, we know they'll become consultants, but we all have our grandmother or our mother or our father that they're not going to do the business, but of course they would buy products from you. If they knew what the products were, they know what the benefits are and why they would help them. So we do that and then take them through the process of scheduling their planner, teaching them what the rainmaker activities are, and getting them into action. The key is you want to get people to study, do, and teach simultaneously. Because, human nature is always, well, I'm going to study this for 2 months, and then I'm going to start doing it, and then I'm going to do it, and after 2 years, if I'm making enough money, I'll talk to people I know. No, you got to get them study, do, and teach simultaneously. So that's the big change in the kit, which is a little change, but it'll make all the difference in the world for your retention and your duplication. And then we just updated the flip chart to kind of be more in sync with the new company story about strengthening your immunity and Immunotech 3.0. We updated the Immunocal by the numbers flyers and added a back page with the elite athletes and Olympic athletes. Because that Immunocal by the numbers flyer, I can tell you every company in the entire direct selling profession would crawl naked over broken glass and throw money at you to be able to have that simple little chart, 1-page flyer that has all that credibility, the patents, the amount of product, the clinical studies, the published articles. I mean, just crazy, the credibility of that. And then we just put the athletes on the back. And then, of course, we have a new tool about training harder, stronger, longer that features actual testimonials and quotes from the Olympic athletes and the elite athletes. These are world champions. There's gold medalists in that brochure. There's world record holders in that brochure. There's national champions in that brochure. So this isn't, weekend warriors like me who are hacking around on the softball field. This is some of the most elite athletes in the world, and they're testimonials. And so that's really the big, and I'd say the other simple tool is these shaker bottles. You know, when you create the culture with your team where they take those to yoga class, to Pilates, when they're working out in the gym, when they're jogging, doing like John was doing his weightlifting thing this morning, I'm telling you, this, you know, for $10 or $12, that might be the most powerful marketing tool of all. And I know I know these sold out like halfway through the event. So the company's going to hate me, but I'm going to tell everybody on this Zoom right now, you email Sharif and your, regional sales manager and every email address you have at the company and say, when are you going to get some more shaker bottles in stock? Because you got to create that culture everywhere in the world where people are, because that's just the best advertising in the world, because people see you're really using it. So I think, John, that's really the first place to start, is just what we did with the starter kit.
Great. Well, and those changes that you mentioned are significant. So hopefully everybody's got a hold of one. Remember, you can always buy a starter kit even as an existing distributor. You can buy that as a separate thing. You might have to call customer service to do it, but get it. But I just want to mention a couple of things on what Randy was talking about here. That Olympic athlete flyer is very, very strong. And, I use the term game changers a lot. Well, how is that a game changer? We began this company 25 years ago, some of us, in our experience. And honestly, we went out and we chased ambulances. Okay. We went out and okay, who's sick? Right? I guess remember your family that's sick, let me tell them about Immunical. And that story worked to some degree, but sick people don't build businesses as a rule because they're worried about getting healthy, as they should be. They're going to their doctor and they got a lot of other things on their mind besides building a business. That's the last thing on most of those people's minds. And frankly, it didn't grow the company the way that it should. Now we're paradigm shifting this to where we're talking about Olympic athletes, the best of the best, professional athletes, the best of the best, people who can afford, in the professional athlete's case, and even in the amateur athlete's case, if you're top 3 in your country, you're compensated, okay? They can afford just about any supplementation out there. Why do they choose Immunical? Because it does something so unique in terms of recovery and everything else. And now you've got a flyer with them saying it. And oh, by the way, Randy, you may have said this. If you do, I apologize, everybody. We didn't pay any of these people. We didn't go out to whoever and write them a check. These are people who bought the product or were given the product and are using the product and saying, hey, this Immunical is a game changer for me in my particular event in terms of my performance. And once again, and I can tell you this, not ever having been at that level, but being close to that level, you get thrown every supplement in the world. Everybody and his brother's got a supplement that they want you to use for a lot of reasons. These people are choosing the product that you and I take every single day, that our kids take every single day as well. Okay, so I just wanted to reiterate that. Great, the flyers. The flip chart, once again, is updated. More to come. It's a very practical tool as we start to get back to being able to actually be in the home with people, or in the Starbucks with people, or the Tim Hortons with people, and actually have a very visual thing. I know I'm 60 years old. In my case, I like visual stuff, okay? Some people want written stuff, but it's very visual and it flows very, very nicely. Once again, it helps to tell the story. So these are very practical tools. And once again, as I said earlier, okay, like my dad going to work as an electrician or the surgeon going to work as a surgeon, the right tool for the right situation. If you're sitting in Starbucks, you may want to use the flip chart. You may want to use the video. Once again, learn these tools, get comfortable with them, make the investment in your business to buy a set so you actually see what we're talking about. Okay, most importantly. So, Randy, the next thing I want to mention, and this is phenomenal. I went through this last night, and it might be a little bit of confusion from your resource site in your back office, but we have a new site that's got a video that I did on inviting. a video that Angela Kari did, a couple of other videos, as well as the videos that we're going to talk about here, the new videos to present the product and the business to people. And write this down and go to this. Don't go to this now. Pay attention. Take your notes after the call. Go to this, immunotech.com/resources. Okay. So once again, immunotech.com/resources. And you're going to see what Randy and Jaime have put together as far as some of the resources. And once again, with more to come. Thank you, David. David just posted in the chat if anybody wants to take it off of there. Okay. So, once again.
And John, the key thing also is this is what's in this new consultant orientation. So remember this, we're NCO, new consultant organization. That's the lingua franca we've got to develop, that as soon as you recruit somebody, hey, get that NCO, download it right away, go through it. And then in there is this link of this page that John's referring to. So, and we're going to be able to update this all the time. So there's some new change in the starter kit. There's some new product comes out. There's some new whatever. All we have to do is create a new training video and drop it on that page. So again, it'll really make the difference for your people in those first 2 weeks, exactly what they need to do to start fast.
And how true is that? Randy, it's all there, touch of a button, all of a sudden, hey, gee, where does the business start, right? In the invitation. So you got something on inviting people, okay? You've got what Angelo's done on there. You've got what other people have done on there. You've got the videos on there. And as Randy said, more to come. Get comfortable with this. Get this in your arsenal. Once again, what are you going to do in 2022? You're going to build a financial fortress around your family, whatever the circumstances are that we're thrown at. Okay, whatever happens, you sharpen your sword. You get these tools into your arsenal. Your business is going to grow despite whatever else happens in 2022 outside of Immunotech. You sharpen your sword for your business and your family's financial future. Randy, one of the other things that I love is just kind of moving along here. These videos are just phenomenal, and I've been having fun. And by the way, some of the people on the line here really know me. And Randy, I think you probably figured this out already. I am not a technology guy. That is like I didn't grow like yourself. I didn't grow up with it, right? We grew up with, wow, I got a fax machine in like 1992, and it was like, wow, how did I live without this thing, right? And now I've got this app on my phone that I can just go, oh, let me send you a video, bing, and I can do it. So if I can do it, you all can do it. But get familiar with that app, but also get familiar with the content in the videos. And I don't know where you want to start talking about the videos, Randy, but if I can just volunteer, the Biomolecule Breakthrough, that 2-minute teaser, I sent to 40 people this week. And I have to be very honest, folks, I haven't sent 40 things on Immunotech in 1 week, probably since 1997. Okay. That's how excited I am about it. And just, people I've told about it. One of my buddies that I lifted with this morning, Jason Knobler, 700-pound bencher, Hall of Famer in his sport. And he's having some health issues. He's getting towards 50. And I've been talking about Immunical. He bought his product this morning. And what did I do this week is I whet his appetite, sending him that 2-minute video. Now, he's an executive in the insurance industry. He's not a network marketer. He's just a guy who's saying, hey, I want to be healthier. I want to take better care of my health. The 2 minutes got him. He texted me back last night. He said, can you bring the product in the morning? Okay, I brought the product, 7:30 this morning. He bought the product. He's getting on the product. That's how simple it really is. And we all have Jasons in our Rolodexes that we don't necessarily think, oh, they're going to do network marketing. He may or may not do the business. I don't really care. You know what I care about? My friend's going to be healthier. And that video showed him, not John telling him, John's just another guy. John's just another jock that he knows at the gym. But all of a sudden, he's got this professional presentation that's cookie cuttered that tells that story. And the thing I love about that, Randy, and love your view on this is, we're going on 47 years of evidence-based science. And the problem with that inherently for most of us is we want to put on that white coat and be Jimmy Gutman. We want to tell everybody about those 47 years of studies. and you overwhelm them, and they get overwhelmed. They say, wow, it's all great, but I can't do that. I can't tell that story. All of a sudden you have a 2-minute video that's concise enough that the person says, hey, I'll learn about all that stuff. That's the old, by the way, I'll learn about all that stuff down the road. What I know is there's a product here that's real and validated. And, you know, Randy, you've seen more of these videos probably than anybody in the industry over the years. You guys did an incredible job on this, and just how you did it in 2 minutes is beyond me. But I love your views on how to really get out there and use that thing so they can really capitalize on it going forward.
Yeah, so this would be one of the tools in, you know, we really hope by convention to lay out the whole ladder of escalation, the complete system. Here's step one, here's the tool. Here's step two, here's the tool. But of course, we wanted to give you as much as we could at the next event too, so you could create momentum and build getting more people butts in the seats at Immunifest 22, which is going to be the, you know, convention, and there'll be 3 of them around the world. So this video is designed as an alternate for people who aren't good at asking qualifying questions. Like, there's always this first question you ask somebody. Hey, are you interested in developing some residual income? Hey, have you ever thought of having a side gig business? Hey, are you into health and wellness, right? These are what we call qualifying questions. Some people in this room are really good at them. You're going to bring in people on your team that are really dreadful at that. So the idea is, well, here's a qualifying video. So it's called the Biomolecule Breakthrough. And the thing, if you read, when you watch it for the first time, you're going to realize afterward, wait a minute. I didn't hear anything about Dr. Gutman. I didn't hear the name Immunotech. I didn't hear the name Immunical. I didn't hear about Mauricio. I didn't hear anything about the company. That's very deliberate because it's an intrigue video or a teaser video. The only thing it's designed to do is to see, is this a qualified candidate? So you know, and then the other thing it does, after we find out if they are a qualified candidate, you find out, are they a qualified candidate for the product or the business and the product, right? As you saw with John's friend in the weightlifting, his first thing was, hey, I want to buy that product, tell me about it. Other people are going to be like, what is this? I'm looking for a side gig. You know, I'm driving Uber at night, or I'm selling stuff on eBay, or I market on the flea market on weekends. You know, I'm trying to supplement my income. So they'll identify that to you. So for that reason, there's 2 things you should know. One, we're not even featuring it on the regular company site. We gave its own URL. So it's in the mobile app if you send the invitation from there. Let me see, I did logo. So it's called, the URL or the website address is yourbiotechbiz.com. Yourbiotechbiz.com. And so the idea is you just send them a link. So I think my screen share show up so you can see it here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the site. Are you ready? And then the video. I don't know why I don't see the video. Oh, there it is. Okay. So here's the video here. What's up with my internet this morning? They're killing me. See if I got bumped off my main. Yes, I did. I got bumped off my main Wi-Fi. Someone pause this. Hopefully I won't freeze while I'm going to the new one. So the idea is you can do this by, you know, ask when you're talking to them on the phone, or you could just send a WhatsApp, a Signal, a text where you just, hey, are you interested in blah, whatever your qualifying question is, you text it out, and then you say, hey, take 2 minutes, watch this video, and call me back when you're done. Now, the reason we didn't put the company name or the product name, just for the reason why Amway would never tell you you're going to an Amway meeting. Why? Because they go, oh, Amway, I know all about Amway. You know, my cousin-in-law did that 30 years ago and blah, blah, blah. we don't want any preconceived. We just want to know, are they a prospect? So it's, you send them to this link, they go there. This is the only copy on the site. Are you ready to join a wellness movement? And then, you know, they watch the video and it says, get back with the person who invited you to watch. And that's it. So let me turn off my stop screen share. It's just, so when you send 10 people and 5 of them aren't interested, don't say the video doesn't work. It means the video is working perfectly, because it told you, hey, don't waste time with these 5 people. They're not looking for wellness, because we know that, right? Not everybody in the world should use Immunotech products, but everybody in the world is not going to use Immunotech products. Most of the world drinks 11 Diet Cokes or Diet Pepsis a day. They're not interested in wellness, right? They're cake and cookies and Pizza Hut and Burger King and McDonald's, and they may not be your candidate. So the idea of a teaser video is just to find out, are they a candidate or not? So it's, you know, and it's just, as attention spans go down, it's harder and harder. Zoom fatigue is another reality, right? It's harder to get people to watch a Zoom or a Facebook Live, especially after all these year and a half of this pandemic. So the idea is, what's the smallest module of time I can ask them to take to see if they're a candidate? And anybody can find 2 minutes. So it's always, and a great technique to use is, if I, will you? So like for the biomolecule, you say, if I send you a link, would you watch a 2-minute video and call me right afterward? And then and then all you just follow up. Hey, did you watch the video? Well, no, okay, well, when can you watch the video? Okay, I'll do it. So if you watch it tonight, can I talk to you right afterward? Same thing with the full-length video, same thing with the product video. Always remember that technique, if I, will you. And so we just wanted something simple. And by the way, there's a Spanish version of that too. I forgot what the URL is, but if someone can type it in the chat, we'll find it. But it's in the booklet, by the way. So, but we'll put it in the chat. So there's a Spanish landing page and an English landing page.
You know, Randy, what I love what you went over here, and you and I experienced this, and some of the other people who have been in the industry on this call. In the past, we used things like gap calls back in the 80s and 90s, right? Where it was so cool, right? You had an 800 number that you could give out to people, and they'd listen to a 2 or 3 minute presentation, just like this, right? But it obviously was all, you know, audio. And then of course, you know, if you gave that number to 10 people today, and you called those 10 people back, maybe 3 of them actually bothered to listen. The other, I didn't get to it. And, you know, okay, you're going to get to it tomorrow. And they never got to it. They're still waiting to get to it. Okay. And they're probably still struggling financially, by the way. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what this is, in a much more professional manner, because now all of a sudden you can hear it and you can see it. Okay. And most people are one or the other, either audio or they're visual, or some people are both. But at the end of the day, that's what you have. And I do want to talk about the app a little bit, Randy, but let's talk just for a couple minutes, if we will, about the second video, because I'm watching this. You know, this is an applied science, by the way, network marketing. Okay, there's a lot of people who theorize it, and there's the people who really do it, like Randy Gage, okay, and like many of you, okay, that are succeeding in your business. It's an applied science. So this week I've been in the applied science business. I've been taking the app and really firing this thing out there. And I got 3 people this week that bought product and 2 joined the business. Okay. And which is great. Okay. Out of 40. And there's still a lot more follow up. And some of the people I sent it to are already in the business. I want them to be aware of it because they weren't at the event. And, you know, you should be doing that too, by the way. You all have downline members who were not at the event in Houston, that aren't aware of the app, that it even exists and that it's free, right? And they don't know that they can send out videos for free. They don't know that they can text or email out of that for free. They don't know any of that. Okay. So we got to get to them, those folks too. But anyway, all that said, the second video, okay, and I'm still learning the names of these, by the way, so I'm going to look at my other screen. Nature's Fountain of Youth. That's about a 6-minute video. And there you have a little bit more of the glutathione influence, okay? You have a little bit more of the Immunotech influence. You have some of the immunotech influencers. Okay, you've got some of the or one of the gold medal athletes on there. Okay, so now all of a sudden, like with Jason, for example, I sent the first video. Okay, and we're friends, and he knows what I do for a living. He knows I've been in network marketing for, ever. Okay, and he's had a successful career in what he does. Okay, but he talks to me about it from time to time because he's been intrigued, right, over the years about how do you make a living? How do you work? How come you're at the gym at 10 o'clock in the morning and I can't be? Right? That's always gone through his head, even though he makes great money, but he does. So now I send the second video, because now it personalizes the immunotech role in this. Okay, I get that there's this scientific discovery out there, okay, but now how does that, where's your company fit into that story? So that second video was what I sent him. And once again, more information. Now he's got a little bit more information. But to Randy's point, if they won't look at 2 minutes, don't send them 17 minutes, right? You got to get their appetite wet where they go, okay, this is interesting. Think how we learn anything, right? We hear about something and we go, that interests me. You can think about anything, whether you're, maybe you're a new golfer or tennis player, or maybe you're starting to play chess this year, or, something new. You get interested, and then what do? You go, okay, tell me more. So that to me is the tell me more video of, okay, now I'm starting to kind of whet your appetite to the fact that you need to be on this product, number one. And number two, that I have the product. What's the first thing in marketing? What do they teach you when you get an MBA? Fill a void in the marketplace, right? That's what this is. And the fact that we have that solution for them, once again, backed up by 47 years of evidence-based science that belongs to Immunotech, not to some third party, us. We did that. We paid for that. Our scientists did that work. Randy, love your thoughts on how to use that as well.
Yeah, before I do, a couple of quick things in the chat. Margot said she saw it a few days ago and she saw an Immunotech logo. Margot, if you see that again, let us know, because they shouldn't come up anywhere in that video. Sharif also wrote to say he thinks he'll have an ETA on the shaker bottles, hopefully by the end, and he'll update us. And then he also put the Spanish link is in the chat. In Spanish, it's bionegocio.com, which is just bio business in Spanish, right? Because this sexy part of this is everybody's looking for biotech companies today, and DNA, genome sequencing, biotech. And you guys are in a company that was one of the pioneer biotech companies before biotech was even a thing. So this video that John's talking about, Nature's Fountain of Youth. Why that title? Well, because one of the brilliant thing about Dr. Bunos was he was the first person to show the cause and effect of increasing glutathione levels and how that matters from an antioxidant standpoint. And what is antioxidant? It's anti-aging, right? Oxidation is like rust. If you leave metal out in the rain, it rusts. And that's what our bodies do. They oxidate. And so, because you get those free radicals that break off from cells, right? So the thing, what is Immunical or Immunical Boost or Immunical Platinum or Reds and Greens, what are they doing? That's why it's called the glutathione's considered the master antioxidant. When you hear Dr. Jimmy, that's how he always describes it, the master antioxidant. So this video is total spotlight video on Immunical. We just felt if there ever was one product from one company, of any company in the direct selling space, if there was one product that deserved its own featured spotlight video, it has to be Immunical. So this is a video that, let's say somebody watches your teaser video and they seem interested just in becoming a customer. This would be the next step you send them. If you ask them a qualifying question and they only seemed interested in the health and wellness, but not the business, this would be the next video you'd send them. If they were interested in the business, we would send them the It's Your Turn video, which we're going to talk about next. But if they showed their interest is just in the product, you would send them this video as their first real exposure, because this is the signature product of Immunotech, is Immunical. And the other thing you should do is you should send this video to every customer that you've ever had with Immunotech. And if you've been in this for, 2 decades, like Foster and John and Keith and some of the people in this room right now, even the people you had as customers 11 years ago who stopped buying because their budget got tight and they got laid off from a job or they moved and life got in the way or whatever, send them this video. You have nothing to lose. Like, hey, you know what? My company just created a video about the science behind this product. I just think you might find it interesting. And send them the link. They take 6.5 minutes, or they don't. If they don't, they don't. If they do, they hear from Dr. Jimmy. They see, anti-aging, fountain of youth, strengthen your immunity, glutathione, increase in glutathione makes your immunity stronger. They also learn, hey, pills and tablets for glutathione, they don't work. So if they say, well, I'm not going to pay $100 for a box of Immunical because I go down to the health food store and I buy glutathione tablets or capsules, they realize, well, those aren't doing me any good. Those are just passing through my body. My body isn't able to process that glutathione. So that's really, and then they hear from 3 or 4 Olympic athletes. They hear from Dr. Jimmy, and it's just, the science, the patents, the clinical studies, it's all right there. It just shows that, hey, this is, as Dr. Jimmy always likes to say, this is the most important supplement you will ever take.
And, Randy, just to back that up, two thoughts. One is, when we're in a tight economy, which we certainly are in all the markets that folks are on the call in, wherever you live, we talked about that earlier. Okay, hopefully that's not new news. If not, go get gas today. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, almost $3 in Dallas, by the way, for unleaded. That's amazing. Anyhow, all that said, think about this. What this does is it tells that consumer, be they a past consumer or a current consumer of Immunical, that you've made a wise decision. Because, to Randy's point, there's only so many discretionary dollars that people have, and in a tight economy, they're going to spend them very cautiously, very conservatively. So once again, it says, hey, to Dr. Gutman's point, if there's only one supplement that you can afford, be it Immunical. And here's all the justification to science, 47 years of it, frankly, and continuing. So that's one point. The other point on that is just, again, to tell that story that, hey, there's one company that for 25 years as a commercial enterprise has brought this story to the marketplace. There's one company. There's not the knockoffs. There's not the cheap junk in the store. There's one company that has delivered this message consistently for 25 years. And oh, by the way, we're just getting started. And that's why we need your help. That's why we need to spread the message. That's why we want you to watch that video and hopefully consider joining the business as a plan B or as a side gig or whatever you want to refer to it as. That's why we want you to help us, because we have an important message to tell, most importantly. Randy, the third video, it's your turn.
Wait, you know what I also want to add to that, John?
Sure.
The everybody who turns you down for the business, you should have a pivot, and the pivot should be, okay, I'm glad, because there are people that say, I love my job. I get paid well with it. I'm really happy with it. There's not a lot of them, but they are, those unicorns are out there, right? So you need to be able to pivot and say, but I would love to have you as a customer. And I think you should be on Immunical every day. If I send you a 6.5-minute video, would you just watch it and see if this would make a difference for you? So I would send it in that case. And the other place, I think, is particularly the people who who are not interested in the business, but they're athletes of any kind. They're in a bowling league. They're martial arts instructors, or they study Kung Fu or Tai Chi. They take yoga, they go to Pilates. You send them that video, because when they see, oh my God, NCAA world champion, Olympic gold medalist, UK Olympic team, US Olympic team, they start to realize, man, if the elite athletes in the world take this stuff, is this going to help me hit more home runs in my softball game? You know, so they're a very good candidate for that video as well.
Exactly. Great points. And, you know, the third video is kind of the, if you will, the whole story. You know, for example, I've become a big, we were talking about this last weekend, some of the shows Randy likes, and I fell in love with this crazy show called Yellowstone that I watch every Sunday night. And at the end of every show, they give you that, here's next week, right? Here's a little bit, right? They tease you, okay? And then they give you a little more content in a commercial a couple of minutes later. Well, I think Paramount and some of those people have probably figured out this thing over the years. Well, that's kind of what we're doing. The teaser, then a little bit more, and then the third thing is, okay, here's the actual show. It's your turn, kind of documents the 47 years of science, the 25 years of business. Okay, it's got some highlights on it of some distributors and some corporate and some science and where we are right now. And we're in a great place. We're in a unique place. And that video kind of tells the whole story. Now, once again, I wouldn't send that 17-minute video to a brand new person unless I had a conversation with them. I would suggest you start out with the teaser, then go to the 6-minute, and then say, hey, listen, now Randy, you obviously want to know a little bit more about this. I'm going to send you the 17-minute video and really kind of tell you the whole story, and then we'll talk from there. So how would you, suggestions on that, follow up on that?
Yeah, and let me answer. Margot sent me another question and that I cannot answer, but we will get the answer. She said, she's talking about the biomolecule, the 2-minute teaser. She said, I've been sending it from my app so everything would be tracked. If I send it through your Biotech Biz link, does it track if they're watching? The answer, I'm not sure of the app because I haven't been able to get into it. I'm waiting for them to send me a code. I didn't, Jaime and I didn't create the app. That was already in progress when we got on board. So we didn't do that. If you just texted or WhatsApp somebody the link of your Biotech Biz, you wouldn't be able to track it. You got to do that manually. But I believe if you send the invite through the app, you should be able to track it.
My experience so far on that, Randy, is when somebody is watching the video, it pops up and tells me who that person is that's watching it. So Margot, what you might want to do, just send it maybe to your, one of your kids' cell phones or your spouse's cell phone and have them open it. And it should show you that they're actually watching it. That way, that they've actually, viewed it or at least opened it up so that they should be looking at it. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, perfect. So John mentioned the full length video. The title is It's Your Turn. Where did that come from? How many people do we know who say, do you know, I was sponsored into Amway by Dexter Yeager in 1978 and I dropped out after a month. Or, man, Mark Yarnell from New Skin, I was on his team in 1986 and I had a chance to buy Amazon when it was $5 a share. I had a chance to buy Apple when everybody has talked about the, FOMO, fear of missing out, right? We've all missed out on things. So there's a lot of people, casual observers of our profession who've never been successful. They've joined once or twice over a year. Maybe they had a bad sponsor. Company didn't have good tools. They didn't have a duplicable system. So they didn't make it. And they always felt, man, I missed the boat with Amway. I missed the boat with Herbalife, or I missed the boat with Avon or whoever. So this is about, no, this is your turn. This is your chance to get in on a platform that's about to go into hyper growth, international expansion around the world, and take this wellness movement. And so this is the full presentation. And that's why it's 17 minutes and change. People say, well, people don't like to watch long videos. Well, I watched the director's cut from Zack Snyder of the Justice League movie, right? It was 4.5 hours. I couldn't even pause it to go to the bathroom. That movie was so riveting, I couldn't tear myself. It's brilliant, right? So it's not that, people watch 2-hour movies every day. So don't buy into the belief that people don't watch long videos. Something can never be too long. It can only be too boring, right? So what we were really, really hard, and the credit really goes to Christian Cruz, head of marketing and Immunotech, Mimi Cohen, the vice president up in Canada, who got us all the Olympic athlete stuff, Claudio, who works from Mexico City, who did the video. They worked so hard to make this video. Fast paced, intense, high energy. I mean, it's a brilliant, brilliant piece of work. And it goes through the whole thing. When glutathione was developed, found, discovered in 1800s, how it never really was until Bunos and Kalshaven, no one knew what the potential was, how it came out, how the following developed. Then when Mauricio came on the scene and invested in the infrastructure that allows you today to be able to say, yeah, we're ready to go into that hockey stick growth. We've got all of the science, the studies and the research and the tools and the website and the mobile app and the team, right? And it shows the science behind the product. It shows the marketability of the product. It shows the support structure of the tools. It shows the support structure of the field leadership. People like many in this room who have been here from day one or been here for 10 years, who have the experience and the talent and it shows people that when you get involved, everybody in your sponsorship line has a vested interest in your success. And it doesn't explain all the comp plan because that would put people in a coma. It shows them, here's how leverage works. Here's some of the main ways that you will be able to apply leverage and make money. And then most importantly, at the end, it's a call to action. Hey, the train is leaving the station. If you want to get on this train, you need to jump on now because timing is important. And I tell you, you're going to have a lot of friends who are in other companies who are going to be so insanely jealous of you because you have this tool. And the other thing, John, we have to really, really, really emphasize when we say this drunk orangutan thing, this point and grunt or this plug and play, is this is diamond and above here. So everybody in this room, I guarantee you, can make a compelling Immunotech presentation. Every one of you could sit down with somebody in a Tim Hortons or a Starbucks and get them to sign up. Any one of you could do a Facebook Live or a Zoom and you'd get a bunch of people to sign up. But most of the people that you would get to sign up would not be able to do that. And the more expertise you have on glutathione and Immunotech and science, and the more expertise you have on network marketing and direct selling, the less duplicable you are. So it's like anytime I wanted to bring somebody in the business, I would never, ever bring them to a presentation where I was the speaker. Ever, never. The reason why is because I know what they're going to say afterward, because I'm a really good presenter. I can draw circles with the best of them, right? So, and I know, I'm going to say, well, what did you think? And they're going to say, that was amazing. You're great on stage. That was funny. I loved your jokes. I loved the story. That looks very interesting. I just don't think it's for me. Because they're saying, I could never do what I just saw this guy do. But if I take them to someone else's presentation, or I show that, I get them to watch a video presentation, whether it's this video or a Facebook streaming presentation, then the only thing in their subconscious mind is, okay, so to do the business, I invite somebody to watch a presentation. And the single most important psychological dynamic that causes people to join our business is when they're in front of a presentation, two things have to happen. Number one, they have to start thinking about people they know who would be good at this, right? Oh, wow, this is amazing. My brother-in-law, he would love this. He loves these kind of things. If I showed him this, I think he would join. Now that fear of missing out is starting to kick in. And the other thing that has to happen is they have to, again, subconscious, they don't even know they're doing this, is they're saying, I could do this. What he just did with me, what she just did with me, I could do that. And when it's sending them a link, or inviting them to a link, that's what can duplicate. So they will have in their mind, without even knowing it, hey, I could do this. And when you have someone in front of a presentation and they have those two subliminal thoughts, number one, I could do this. And number two, hey, I have some people in my posse who would love this thing. They have to sign up. They simply cannot not sign up. And so this tool, for all you glutathione experts, for all you immunotech experts, this tool is designed to protect you from yourself so that you won't make those incredible presentations that can't be duplicated. Instead, you will show your team how to use a tool to create duplication.
And Randy, following up on that, folks, two thoughts, okay? And, put this in your notes as well. Number one, and I hope I don't get anybody mad at me, but I probably will. I'm used to that. What else is new? Get the white coat off, guys. Okay. And we were all guilty of it. Myself, I can point at you guys as four fingers coming back. I love the science. I'm here because of the science. I'm here because the product worked for my mom. I'm here because the product worked for me. I'm here because the product worked for family members. But the second I put that white coat on, I confuse people. What this does, second point, universal access. Universal access means, and we can use any film that's out, right now, okay, whatever the film of the day is. I haven't been in the movies in so long, Randy, I'm not sure what's out, but let's just say Titanic when it came out, right? Okay, here's one we've all seen. When Titanic came out, if I saw it in Dallas, and Randy saw it in Miami, and Keith Hooper saw it in Modesto, and Foster Owusu saw it in Toronto, and Don Hutchinson saw it in Belfast, Northern Ireland, it was the same movie. That's what these three videos are. People think all the time that if you're a senior platinum or a platinum that you put your pants on different in the morning. I can assure you we don't. And I know all of our platinums, okay? Well, they don't. I don't, okay? Ricardo Palaio doesn't, okay? Jim Spencer doesn't. Sandy Wolper doesn't. Keith Hooper, Foster. None of these people that you hear about that are legacy distributors and have built big businesses. Who wants these people? And you think somehow that we have something different that we do. No, we don't. Randy Gage, superstar in the industry, okay? Guy's made gazillions of dollars. No different, okay? Now, that being the case, when we talk about universal access, the video is the same for my friend that got on a product this morning if he chooses to join the business. The videos are the same for him as they are for me after 25 years. That presentation, that story doesn't change when he or she sends that via the app to their friends, their family, their coworkers, and says, take a look at this, okay? That's where that duplication comes in when you hear of the Amways and the New Skins and the Herbalifes and the other companies that do billions of dollars in our industry. That's the secret sauce that they figured out along the way, is how do we get this story to be the same in Toronto, as Toledo, as London. How do we get that? That's what you now have. I'm going to ask Sharif if he could go on the chat box and make sure everybody knows how to download the app. We had some questions this week. Randy, I'm sorry, I didn't bring you up to speed on this last night, but we had a call the other day with some of our folks over in the UK. And they were asking the question, how do they get the app and how can they use it when the sampling part is not part of it in their market? You can use this app anywhere in the world. Want to make a point. Mauricio Dominzain, okay? When you say your prayers tonight, thank God for that man. This app is free, okay? I've been in this industry a long time. Randy's been in it longer. Most company owners would be charging, I don't know, $30 a month, $50 a month for you to use this. This is free. He wants you to succeed in your business, okay? Now, he's altruistic, okay? He wants you to succeed, but at the end of the day, he wants to succeed well for his family too. He knows the more of these videos that we get out there, the more that we use this universal access tools to get in front of people, the greater our business is going to be in 2022 and way beyond that. Okay, Randy, love your thoughts, universal access and how they use this consistent tool to build the consistent messaging of Immunotech.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're on Android, go to the Android store. If you're on Apple, go to the Apple store, the App Store, and just search Immunotech. It'll come up, hit download, hit, yes, and then it'll ask you it'll download. And that's it. And it's pretty, and then if you get any questions, just email your customer service rep in your country. And it'll work anywhere. Yes, the sample program to be shipped is only in the US, but you could duplicate that yourself and send the product yourself. Or you don't have to do the sample program. Just get customers and get builders using the tools. And last thing, I know we're running out of time, Johnny, but we got to tell them they have got to be at Immunifest.
Well, what can I tell you? Based on last weekend, and I don't know how many presentations I've been through in 39 years, but a lot, all over the world, okay? And this was by far the greatest presentation, okay, of information that duplicates because it was given by distributors. No disrespect to corporate people, but corporate people, if you're not wearing distributor shoes, it's kind of hard to go out and tell the distributor what to do. Randy and Jaime are distributors at heart, okay? They've worn the shoes, as I said earlier. Now, that being said, March 25th and 26th, be in Frisco, Texas. Come down here, take advantage of the Texas hospitality. Our weather generally is pretty good. Last year, we did kind of have that crazy storm around then, but I don't think we're going to have that this year, hopefully, okay? Frisco, Texas, if you're in North America, you want to get to that event. Buy your tickets now. They're still discounted, okay? Get to the event, get your airline ticket, get your hotel when the call is over, all right? Take full advantage. You're going to hear from Randy. You're going to hear from Jaime. You're going to hear from some of our senior platinums. You're going to hear from corporate. You're going to hear about new products. You're going to hear about all sorts of different things, Immunotech guys. And by the way, folks, it's 90 days from now. I know we're butting up against Christmas and New Year's and Hanukkah and everything else going on in the world. We're 90 days roughly from this event. Okay. Now, I'll make a pitch for Frisco, Texas, Randy, because I live 10 minutes from there. Frisco, Texas. When I moved to Dallas 20 plus years ago, it was still developing as a city. It is one of the state-of-the-art cities in the world. You're going to want to come and have a great time. If you love to shop, every store in the world is there. The Rodeo Drive type of stores are there. Bring your credit card, okay? If you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, or if you're a Dallas Cowboys hater, which I am, even though I live in Dallas, I'm a New York Giants fan, okay? Jerry Jones has built a state-of-the-art facility that the Cowboys train at and a major mall around there. Once again, you're going to want to see it. Bring your camera, bring your phones, bring all that stuff, because there's some really cool stuff here in Frisco, Texas. If you've never been to Dallas, of course, we have a lot of history in Dallas, okay? You're 20 minutes from downtown Dallas, okay? You're about an hour from Fort Worth if you've never been there. That time of year, the weather, like I said, is generally great down here. So if you're coming from the north, you'll enjoy the weather. Similar event going on over in Toledo, okay, in Spain. Similar event going on in Mexico City. If those, I know we have people on from those markets as well. Obviously, those are the events that you're going to want to get to. If you can get to all three, great, but get to one. But if you're here in North America, which most of the people on the call here are here in North America, get to this event. okay? Events are life-changing because what they do, in my experience, Randy, is they restructure your thinking. You know, I'm sitting there listening to you and Jaime last weekend. My brain's going on what I got to do. Okay, I'm sitting there texting out to people the video. I'm being proactive. I'm doing things that I did as a new distributor in this company, as a new distributor in prior companies. I'm reshaping my thinking to what am I going to do in 2022? How am I going to grow my business in 2022? How am I going to continue to build a financial fortress around my family in 2022? Okay, that's what it does, is it stimulates this, okay, the gray matter up here. It gets it moving where you start saying, what am I going to do? And you see how all the things that everyone else is speaking about from the front of the room interacts. The other part of this event is the downtime, okay? The time where you're in the hallway or you're eating lunch and you're talking to another distributor, okay? And they're telling you what they're going to do in their plans. And it stimulates, once again, your thing. Wow, I didn't think of that. Okay, Giancarlo Torres, I think he's on the call today. 24-year-old, he's a kid, Randy. He wasn't born when you and I were doing this stuff, right? And I love that kid. He's a great kid. But I'm talking to him about some of the things of how he sees it with these tools at 24, being in the business less than 5 years, right? Why? Because I have 24-year-olds in my life. I have 24-year-olds in my organization, right? I'm talking to my friend Ricardo Pelayo, one of the things that he's planning on doing, right? And everybody in between. Okay, so come for the community, come enjoy the great Texas weather and everything else. It's going to be a fun event, but more than that, you're going to go back with your notebook filled with things to do. Randy, let me turn it back to you. FedEx is knocking on my door. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Let me turn my camera off for 30 seconds. I'll be right with you.
Perfect. Yeah, I just want to, by the way, you guys in Texas, I have been to Jerry Jones' little cathedral there, that stadium, and watched the game and got a private backstage tour. It's amazing. And I can tell you that Morgan Binder in the events department and Alejandro Buenza are actually working on a excursion for, like, I think Saturday morning of the convention for a little private event over there. But it doesn't matter. If you go to that one, we have the event in Spain. And then, of course, we have the event in Mexico City, I believe is where the LATAM is going to be. So LATAM is in February, North America is in March, and EU is in March. But I think the single most important thing you should be tracking for the rest of the year is how many people you will get registered for Immunifest 22. Most important key metric ever, because, and we saw at the next event, I was asking a leader, how many people you think you have? Well, I have a lot. How many? Well, I don't know. I can't track it. You got to track it, because that's the most important metric you're going to have is we're counseling with all of your personal enrollees. Okay, start at the bottom of your structure. In each line that you have, and by line, I mean a personal enrollee, you tell them, hey, give me every week, I want an email from you or a text. How many people from your team do you have going to Immunifest, and how many lines? Because that's going to determine your income for 2023 and 2024. And the last thing I'll say, Johnny, and then we could wrap it up, is whichever location you go to, bring at least one empty suitcase, because there will be a couple new marketing tools, printed physical tools that you will want to bring hundreds or thousands of them back home to your market. And I would say there is a very strong chance that there will be a new product launched that will, I'm a little scared for the LATAM one because that's coming up so quick, but I'm much more confident for North America that there will be a product launched that will change the game forever and open up an incredible new section of the marketplace for you guys. And again, you may want to bring 2 empty suitcases or 3 empty suitcases, because you will, and particularly like you guys who are in Dominican and Ecuador and Colombia and places, and you're flying in, that maybe that product might not be launched for 3 months or 4 months. You pack the suitcases with this, because you're gonna, it's like, you know, these things. If you got one of these in Houston, you could have sold it for $25. People were killing for these. The flip chart, the new flip, I don't even have I wanted to show you the flip chart. I couldn't even show you today because nobody could hang on to them. My last flip chart that I used as an example from stage, I gave to a couple from Mexico because they drove 10 hours from Mexico to get to that event, and they didn't have a flip chart. And and I said, take this is my sample, but you know, and I asked them to FedEx me some, but they didn't come in time. So you could have sold those flip charts for $100 at the end of that event. There are people who would kill for those. And that's nothing like the tools you're going to see in the convention, because that's where we're going to really flesh out the system. So action step for this call, you know, when we do a training, we like to give you assignments. We like to give you action step. So action step 1 is get registered yourself for at least one of the, and some of you might go to all 3 conventions because you have big teams and you have groups all over the world, right? In all the 12 countries. Step 2, get the campaign going for your people to get to those events. And then step 3 is, hey, go back and look at your list all from the beginning again and say, who might be a good one to reapproach with the Nature's Fountain of Youth video, or who might be a good one to show the 2-minute teaser video, or who's someone who kind of knows the business and they would see the whole full-length video. But like in the days of, you know, Johnny and I and Keith and, you know, the mature people in this Zoom room, you know, we remember the CD, DVD days, right? And I could tell you, when we launched the DVD, we would like say, how many thousands of these can you have circulating in the universe with your teams, you know, a sticker or a rubber stamp with their name and their contact info? Can you get 5,000 of these circulating within a month? Can you get, there's people with teams that you could get 50,000 circulating within a month, right? And that's how you can approach these new 3 videos, because you don't have to mess with the DVDs. You don't have to buy the DVDs. They're free. It's just sending the link. So really your third, you know, action step, I would say, would be really work with your leaders on your team. How many people can you get in front of one of these videos today? All right, Johnny, take it home.
All right, Randy. Well, first of all, let's wrap up with this, folks. Okay. You know, as some of you know, we have a podcast that we do every single week. Okay. And I interviewed a guy that Randy will remember by the name of Ben Gage III. You know Ben, I think. Okay. And Ben is a legend, another icon in the industry, and Ben's in his late 70s now. But when he was in his early 20s, he ran a company in California that was very, very large. It was the largest company at that time in network marketing. And he was 27 years old. And the owner of that company hired him a mentor, a guy by the name of Dr. Napoleon Hill. Now, one or two of you may have heard of him. He wrote a little book called Think and Grow Rich, amongst others. And he hires Dr. Hill, who's then in his late 70s, early 80s. And for 2 years, every single day, Monday to Friday, Dr. Hill would mentor him. They'd have lunch together or whatever, and they'd meet. So when I was interviewing him, I said, what was the, of all the things in 2 years that you learned from Dr. Napoleon Hill, what were the most important? 3 things: integrity. Immunotech has tremendous integrity. Randy Gage has tremendous integrity. Mauricio Dominzain has tremendous integrity. Dr. Bunos, I knew him. He was my friend. He had tremendous integrity. Dr. Kongshaven is still my friend, still alive and going strong in her late 80s. Tremendous, tremendous integrity to these people, okay? Secondly, focus. Now, I know it's December, and I know it's Christmas, and I know it's New Year's, and I know it's everything else that's going on in your lives, okay? And certainly enjoy those events. But folks, don't blow off December, okay? Don't say, you know, it's like your nutrition. Don't stop taking your supplements and taking care of your health because it's December and say, I'm going to start in January. You'll be 3 weeks behind. Take advantage of this season. You're going to be talking to people, friends and family, maybe that you don't throughout the year. I know I talk to people this time of year. The rest of the year, we just don't talk. Hey, let me send you something as long as we're saying Merry Christmas or Happy New Year or Happy Hanukkah or Happy Kwanzaa or Happy whatever. Okay, or maybe you don't celebrate at all. That's okay. We got people that don't celebrate, but you're still in contact with people. Take advantage of December. Do not blow off December because then you have to start again in January. You're going to take all this great teaching that Randy just gave you and all these great new tools that Immunotech has put out there. And you go, oh, let me wait till January. Don't wait till January, folks. Take advantage of it now. And finally, the third thing that Dr. Hill said, and Randy just killed it on this, action. Take action now. Okay, take action today. Go to your cell phone. Who are those people's phone numbers in there? Who are you sending holiday cards to this week? Who are you buying presents for? Take action, okay? So Dr. Hill didn't create that. Randy Gage didn't create that. John Solleder certainly didn't create that. Folks, take action in your business. Take action in your life, okay? 2022 can be, should be, and we all want it to be the greatest year of all of our lives. Collectively, we can make that happen with this forum of Immunotech research and all these great things. Randy Gage, I want to thank you, my friend. Great job as always. You are a professional in every sense of the word. You are a blessing to this company and to our many distributors and the corporation. We appreciate what you and Jaime are doing. I know you guys are working your tails. And this poor guy, I thought last Saturday night I was going to have to hold him up. I don't know how much sleep you had going into that event, but not much. And you know, but you did a great job. Jaime did a great job. The event was wonderful. Once again, get to these events, folks. I don't want to sit here forever and talk about it. Take action. Figure it out. If you say, hey, I've got this or I've got that, and you know, that time of year, figure it out. Be here. If there's any way that you can clear your schedule from anything else, be there, okay? You're going to learn a lot from the front of the room, but you're also going to learn a lot. And once again, this has always been the benefit to me of these events is, hey, there's so-and-so. Let me grab that person. Yeah, take their picture and post it on Facebook, but ask them a question, okay? Whether it's Randy Gage, whether it's Jaime, whether it's Ricardo Pelayo, whether it's Rosa Pelayo, whether it's Keith Hooper, whether it's Sandy Walper, whether it's Wally, whomever it is, okay? Grab them. Hey, you know what? They're human beings. And you're going to find, if you've been around Immunotech, and Randy, I think you and Jaime are already in this category, we bleed blue and white. You know, you cut us open, it's not red blood that comes out, it's blue and white Immunotech blood. You're going to find, if they're in Immunotech, I've never asked a person yet, are you in my downline? I don't care. If you're in Immunotech, you're part of the family, okay? And that's the way that you're going to find all of our leaders are. They're receptive to helping you, whatever your situation is. Ask them a question if you have one of them, okay? Randy, once again, thank you, my friend. Thank you, everybody else. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday. Be safe, network, communicate, take action, most importantly. Thank you again, everybody.
Peace.
Thank you. Wow, what a good experience we have this morning with Randy and John. As expected, Randy leave us with those aha moments that bring us new ideas and help us improve what we are already practicing. So I love the simplicity. At Immunotech, we admire you, we respect you, and we will continue to focus on your success. Have a great day. Thank you for being here with us today. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye, bye,
you.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Give my regards to
Thank
your wife.
you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.